Hey, everybody, it's your host of the Sith Dominion podcast, Dr. Dana Martin, and with me today is Chewy the cat, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Debbie. Hey, hi, Chewy. Not already. Dude, we just started. I can't hear you. Are you muted? No. I can't hear you.
I can't hear her.
I can't hear her either.
It something happened to her microphone in the 2 seconds you hit the live button.
I know. Well, troubleshooting, and I can't. Okay, that's okay. We'll get it figured out. You know why? Because Zane's not here. Debbie's broken, and
Debbie's
Cam's there.
barely
Yep,
here.
Debbie's gone. Andrew, welcome to the show. Thank you for jumping in. I had asked you earlier in the week, so Cam not being here is not like I need someone.
Can you hear me now?
I
Yes.
can.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. The cat.
Dr. Dan was talking about how ungrateful he is that I'm here.
That is not what I said.
I don't need to be here.
I asked you to be on the show on Friday before I knew that Cam wasn't going to be here. So you're not just a fill-in, like you are a bona
I'm the
fide
sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
but he couldn't be on MCU Monday last night.
why not?
I have a very valid reason. Has nothing to do with not watching the episodes.
Mhm.
So I'm house sitting right now. They had to
Okay.
have their whole heating and AC completely fixed.
Excuse
I couldn't leave the house because of the dogs, so I didn't eat anything all day.
me.
And so by the time I was driving home, I was so tired. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep during the show. It's like I'm not gonna add anything, and so I was like, I'll just take the night off.
It's okay, man. Dave was sick. He had a Vader voice, and he texted me. He goes, "You're gonna have to help me out. I don't know if I want to talk much." But yeah, he talked like he normally does, so
Nah.
it was fine. It was just the two of us.
I'll be back next week.
Yeah,
Next
sure.
Monday. I would.
If you only missed 2 shows in a row,
Man.
Andrew.
I was totally a jerk to Andrew in pregame. I was like, so you were on that show or this show, and then I was talking about Cam and Focus that he's regular on that show now. Blah blah. I was like, man, you're just a regular podcast whore.
I get around.
I mean, this guy will not say no. He you want a podcast? Yeah, I'm on. What is it about? It doesn't matter. I'll do it.
Well,
I
there's
love
only
it,
2 nights I'm not on a somebody show.
Okay, well, I'm not going to call you a podcast. Ugh. I'll call him that.
And I
Because-
have worked in a factory for 15 years. I have heard it all.
Language is nothing, young lad. Let me
Seen it all.
tell
I-
you something.
I am not phased by it.
I'm also like one of the youngest people that I see do that. So
You're one of the youngest
I'm
people.
always the youngest on.
And I'm
Yeah.
one of the oldest.
Yeah, so
I'm always the youngest on a show. I always get beat up by the people. It's
oh
just-
my god, for Pete's sake, beat up.
Just
You don't
I
even know.
can't take it no more.
He's always the youngest. I'm always the oldest. It balances out. It's okay.
It does. It does. I like being mid. Just, yeah, I know what I said.
Man, if I could go back to being mid, I
Man,
would jump
and,
on that in a heartbeat.
It was funny. Like, I always thought like I'd be dead by 80, right? And so when I turned 40, I was like, my life's half over. I mean, we're on the downward slope, and I'll be 50 this year. And so I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. Like what's his name? Like, wait, no,
Yeah.
wait. Like, that's
Frank,
how I
yeah.
feel. No, I'm not halfway done.
I've only got 20 to go, so
20.
I've got 80 years to go,
Oh,
shut up.
There'll be enough adrenal chrome to go around by the time we're ready to die. So, all right.
No, and see, in 20 years, they'll have technology to where your brain will just stay alive.
There you go.
Yes,
our AI overlords as they take over. Yes, Alexa.
it'll be
thank
like
you.
Wall-E. We'll be like in Wall-E.
oh.
The people that are like fat and they're just riding around in the chairs all day, just eating food and
100%.
I already do that all day anyway. So
That's a Saturday. What are you?
I'm fat. I lay around. I mean, I do go to work, but I got the fat, and on weekends I'm laying around watching TV. So
we call that weekends around here.
Yeah.
I come home from work. What am I doing?
I'm on the couch.
I'm on the couch watching TV.
Goodness.
I'm
there
good at
hasn't
it.
been-
I excel at it.
I'm damn good at that.
If it was an Olympic
have
sport,
it
you would have the gold
perfected.
medal.
Totally own that shit.
I have perfected it. Nobody can top me.
Oh my goodness! If there
Just
was an
ask my
Olympic
cat. She'll tell you.
what's she doing up there with? Yeah,
She's sleeping.
chilling. All right. No more patting your head. That's great.
Well, at least for the next 5 minutes, and then she'll
That
be
would-
like, "Oh, look at there."
That would get annoying. Can't. Man, speaking of, so our little pal we had watching. Those playing along at home had some personal stuff. My grandma was in the hospital, whatnot. We were watching her little mini schnauzer, little diabetic dog. Man, little diabetic dog went into a crash while we were watching him, and so took him to the hospital. He's fine. He's good now. But man, you think, hey, this is how my week's gonna go. This is what the plan is. And then something happens, and now you've got to do all sorts of things you never planned for. And then you
Are
get
you
to
saying you feel
experience
inconvenienced by your grandmother?
100%. She doesn't watch. It's okay. Just kidding.
You still
No,
have him?
that's why I moved. No. Against doctor's orders, she busted herself out because it's not a prison and she can leave whenever she wants. And so she did.
My
But then
kind of woman.
she won't call an Uber. Got to wait for someone to come get her. I love her to death. She's so strong-willed. Like, if there's any woman in my family that can look up to the good things within being strong-willed, she has those. She might have the other things too, don't we all? So,
Right.
no, her dog was fine. We got the dog back to her on that day, and he was super excited to see his mama.
And now he can go
might
back to
be
his regular diet.
Yes, back to his regular day. I, on the other hand, miss my little buddy because that dude would just hang with me, cool. Hey, I'm just gonna chill here. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's up? Hey, Spike. Hey, Spike. Remember the old Looney Tunes with the
Yeah.
bulldog and the little tiny chihuahua or whatever?
He's got a
he's
pillow
like.
to lay on right here, so I'm sure he just made himself right at home.
I've lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks. Have you know? I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Nice.
Nice. Wish I could do that. I look like I'm 8 months pregnant.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Let's transition here.
I was trying to look for a segue. That one wasn't working very well.
Sorry.
So let's talk about plans, right? Plans.
Execute the diet.
Not yet. So are we gonna? We ask this every fourth show. Are we going to get a freaking Rey movie or not?
I think so.
I don't know. They keep
they switch
losing
a writer every
writers,
2
and then
weeks, but
yeah.
That's what. Why is it because the writer's not getting their artistic differences? They're not getting their way. Other projects. What? Just coincidence?
I think it's the first one. I don't think they're maybe getting the control or the creative freedom that they maybe thought they would. Because I don't think it's a lack of faith in the project. I mean, I know we don't know a whole lot other than it's set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
And I personally like Rey as a character. And I think if she's written correctly, can be a really, really cool character, even more so than she already is. So I think maybe there's also a lot of pressure on the writers because they know how. And I mean, there's always going to be people that criticize Rey, but
Sure.
I really do think there's just a lot of pressure writing a whole movie around her that they probably write part of the script and then go, I can't do this, and then they leave. So that's just my guess.
Yeah, I don't know how how the fans they're going to start losing interest, I think, the more that this pushes. I don't know. What do you think, Debbie? Fans going to lose interest? Have you lost interest yet?
Well, I never lose interest in a Star Wars movie, but to this point, I think Disney needs to just quit announcing movies.
Mm.
And then, just one day out of the blue, drop a freaking trailer and say, coming this summer, 2027, just let it be a surprise, because every time they announce a movie outside of the Grogu movie, it's been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Rogue, what was it called? Was it Rogue Squadron? Yeah,
Rogue
that was canceled. I don't know. There were some other movies that were.
If you go back to Disney's convention from 5 years ago, it's like half the projects that they announced have just fizzled out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like in the HR world where you post a job knowing damn well you're not going to fill it, but you need to post a job and keep it active.
You have to post it.
Yeah, you gotta post that for 2 weeks. That's you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of crap. Sorry. So, I guess when it comes to Rey, I dig Rey. I've always thought that there was a lot of potential left on the cutting room floor or the writer's table or whatever Kathleen Kennedy did to it, to her. You wanted a powerful whatever character, you screwed it up, because it's unbelievable what you've done to her, and not unbelievable in a good way.
Yeah, the execution was really bad. I really do think that's why we're seeing a lot of writers drop out, is because of that. If
you like football, I think the comparison here is Jerry Jones.
Oh my gosh!
Don't get me started. Is Kathleen Kennedy?
Don't even get me started.
Jerry Jones is
I'm getting out of here.
And the IP is Star Wars, and it's the Cowboys. And Jerry Jones, as the owner of the Cowboys, makes dumb decisions, puts people into positions, and then tries to control that person in that position that he hired them to do the job for. So, Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and the whole bunch of them hire someone to take the lead and to drive this team of Star Wars creativity until they say, no, we want it this way, or why don't you put Zeke Elliott in? And then they're done and they quit and they move on. And so, yes.
Or they give someone a horribly huge contract to where you can't then get other actors and writers to come join the project, because
that's right.
Golly, don't even get me.
I got nothing against Shot. All right, Baby Shot, he's all right.
I just don't even.
Yeah, no, I don't have an issue per se.
But he's not Cowboy caliber, right?
Hey,
Cameron Fisher. You know what? We talked about your show already twice on our show. Just want to point that out.
He made fun of me, Cam, but back me up. Oh, man. Right. Yeah, I realized the other day, I was like, Swifties who got into football 2-3 years ago only know what it's like to play in the Super Bowl. Me, a Cowboys fan, doesn't even know what it's like to get past the divisional round.
Oh my God. And know that I lived through the doldrums in the 1-15 season before our Super Bowl runs. And now I've waited even longer from the time I was born to the time, they had a Super Bowl in 77. I know for sure. I don't remember when the other one was, 70 something. And then
the
90, 20 years. And now here we are 30 years. Come on.
They have had some really tough losses that I did not. That 2014 Packers divisional round, Dez caught the ball.
Time out. I know we cannot be talking about football on this show.
I know. You're going to keep me going.
In this layer and level and depth and breadth, we cannot.
It's all right.
We can do that in After Dark.
You got me started.
And if you join us in After Dark, in our Discord server, we usually have a stream party. Last week, I don't know what we did. The week before that was we were doing Skeleton Crew every night, watching an episode of Skeleton Crew. Zane has been doing some streaming on the Discord server, watching Rebels episode 1 through. And man, super awesome seeing no one joining him for those. But he still does it anyway, and we might run a couple of those tonight if he joins. I don't know where he's at. I pinged him. I don't know.
Cam loves sports ball in the chat.
I know.
He
I love
wants us
sports
to keep
ball.
talking about it.
Kathleen Kennedy is telling one story in multiple. Did someone post that? That's a great comment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I know, right? And I know we keep watching it. No, that's perfect. For those of you at home, Kathleen Kennedy has been telling one story in multiple eras, 10 years using movies, comics, novels, games, shows, and we all plan our schedule around it. What are you talking about? Yeah,
sports
I know,
ball.
right? Because we keep freaking eating it up.
We've been live for 15 minutes and have mentioned Order 66 once.
I'm trying.
It's going to be a 2-hour show tonight.
It is going to be a 2-hour show.
Nope.
Maybe 2.5. We could push 3.
I have to go into work early tomorrow, so nope.
We might even push 4 hours if we really want to.
I lost 10 pounds because I get up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm at the gym by 5:15.
We need to see some proof there.
I'm not. We're not hashtagging anything tonight. Okay. No. I got another 20 to lose, maybe. Stay on target. Thank you, Cam. Our Cam is not here tonight. Those of you joining late, I don't know where he went. No, he's in the process of doing some moves and stuff. There's Zane. Oh, I'll let him explain. He'll be joining us momentarily. So let's go ahead and talk about the poll question as we're getting into poll question for this week was, what about Order 66 was most impressive? And we're going to talk about seriously, we're going to talk about our two options: the clones turning on the Jedi, or Vader and the 501st marching on the Jedi Temple. Between those two, what for you was most impressive and why?
I'm going to have to go with the Imperial March because that,
yes,
the view that they had of, of course, the iconic music first.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just see Anakin with his hood up, and you could just see his head coming up as he's walking up the stairs. And then they do that iconic over the head shot or over bird's view shot, whatever the hell you want to call it. And, just everybody marching behind him. I mean, holy shit, come on. That was awesome. I even now when I watch it, and I've watched it 10 billion times, it still gives me goosebumps.
Heck yeah, man. It says so much about power and strength and drive and focus, and it's just just marching.
Look who's here.
Oh, well.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, howdy, Zane.
Hey,
how are you doing, lore master?
doing really, really.
By the way,
good.
don't feel bad about being late. You haven't missed anything.
We're 20 minutes in.
Yeah, we've done burned 20 minutes and nothing.
Oh my god!
We are waiting on you.
I didn't.
The time change. I thought it was already 9.
Time change.
Yeah, the time change. I thought it was 7.
Okay. So Debbie, the march. Yeah. That says so much in that shot. It's incredible. Someone pull that. Oh, I'll pull it. What about you, Andrew?
Well, of these two options that you gave us, I would have to go with, I agree with Debbie, the Imperial March, because the thing about the clones is with the chips and all of their heads, it's really easy for them to switch. Like, it just takes a command and they switch. But Anakin actually going full on dark side and going to the younglings and just wiping out everyone. I mean, that's just so cool. Well, let me hold on. It looks cool, not his actions. His actions aren't cool, but he looks cool doing it. It's a better way to say that. And so I would go with that as well. But I also can finally reveal that I'm one of the Jedi that survived Order 66, by the way.
Were you one of the younglings?
I was one of the younglings that got away.
Good shot, Debbie.
We don't even care about copyright.
I get 30 seconds.
Oh.
Yep, there's the shot, baby. And then the next shot. There you go.
There you go.
That's what I'm freaking talking about.
There we go.
Look at that. It's my boy. It's my boy right there.
Boy. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're 31 seconds.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, dang.
That's it. We'll get flagged. Just look at that specimen of Sith right there. That guy right there is the one that everyone was afraid of.
It better be keep younglings away from Debbie.
I need a sitter for tonight.
What?
I said I need a sitter tonight. Okay. You're not Cam. Oh, Andrew. So what was yours, Andrew?
The Imperial March.
Yeah. What about you, Zane? But in the poll question, it was what was most impressive between the two of the clones turning versus the march on the Imperial or the march on the Temple.
You know, the March of the Temple was cool, but I have to be the person doing something different.
Well, of course you do.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
You know, like not showing up on time.
Yeah. That was on purpose, fashionably late. No, but honestly, I think it was just more impressive, and sad seeing all the Jedi die in the span of 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I don't know.
I think what you're
I agree.
describing is that long game that we just flashed that comment from Cam. That that's pretty damn impressive. I mean, across the galaxy, all at once,
Perfectly.
everyone turns. Right, that was pretty sick. I'm with the others though because we don't have very much time that we see Darth Vader as we've never seen him before. We've only known Darth Vader in his armor and his mechanical respirator suit and whatever. We don't ever know that Darth Vader. And honestly, growing up as a kid, I always just assumed he became Darth Vader like the moment he was in the suit type thing. You know, my weird mind. I never thought that dude was Darth Vader, like because where's what we knew as Darth Vader. So very impressive, very well shot, all CGI, I think. So great job there, computer programmers. Just a great scene. I'm with you. Sorry, Zane, you're overruled. Even online, you're overruled. So
You have been banished.
yes. Do it.
Do
But I'm with you too, Cam. You know, Palpatine the long game, and we're talking a little bit about that. That's what we're going to walk through tonight. Is hopefully we'll stick somewhat to the outline and just talk about piece by piece here. And let's just start then with the long game, right? So, from the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lore Master, perfect storm for Palpatine. He was a politician. He was brought up early on in his teens, began to be groomed as a politician. He was serving at 12, I think, right?
That age.
Continued to be groomed then by Plagueis. So from a very young age, he was in two very different ways being taught how to take control, get power, gain power, and hold it. Would you agree, disagree? Yeah. So for him to be able to, is it that far-fetched for a person like Palpatine to come up with this kind of plan? How about, are there any other Sith?
What
that
did I
maybe
say in the
could have
pre-show,
done this?
Dana? What did I say?
I don't listen to you in pre-show. What did you say in pre-show?
You didn't listen to what he said in pre-show?
You see, it's
Well,
like,
I
why do I
listened.
even accept these positions? You know what?
No, I meant, what did you
Oh,
say?
I said you always ask such deep questions. I said that we just sit here in silence for like
Sit here
a few
and
minutes.
nod. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll ask a real easy question. I can't. This is the question. All right. So
I don't even know what the question was.
The question was, what could there be any other Sith that could have been in the position to do what he did, or was it purely a perfect storm of his upbringing where he was at that allowed this to take place?
I think not for the same reasons, but I think if like Darth Maul survived, I think he would do it. Just he was that version of evil. I don't know if I'm blanking on his name. Christopher Lee,
Dooku.
Dooku. I don't know if Dooku could have done it.
I don't think he would.
Because there was still good in him, I think, at a certain level. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of Sith alive at the time. There's Sith throughout the other timelines that could have done it, but
who might could have done it in the other timeline the way that he did, where he was able to. I mean, there wasn't a lot of bloodshed of people.
I think Star Killer could do it.
Star Killer. Dude.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I mean,
Revan might be able to.
See, everything seemed so conquestial, like real violent war conquest. And while there was galactic civil war, it's not the same, right? This isn't the same as what we saw with Revan or with any of the others.
Well, I mean, Bane accomplished quite a bit.
Sure.
I mean, there was some playing the long game with him, planning things out and, getting his revenge and whatnot and all that other bullshit. So, I mean, his wasn't, it's been so long since I've read the book. I don't think any of his was political per se, but it was just trying to get it to where, I mean, he wiped out practically all this. Well, he did wipe out all the Sith and a lot of Jedi along with it, just to, get to where he thought it should be, rule of two. And that took a lot of planning and whatnot. So he, maybe if he would have stepped into the political field, he could have done it.
Zane, what do you think?
Full of shit, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, when you talk about like Old Republic, a lot of it wasn't about politics. But the closest one I can think of is actually Vitiate.
Vitiate. Yeah.
He had been planning the Eternal Empire for years before he was captured. He'd raised 2 sons. In the span of SWTOR, he was killed, and then maybe a few years later, he was found on Ziost or whatever that is. I don't know. It was crazy. He had that whole fleet, that whole planet, with, like his 3 children, everything already made, planned out, done before he died as emperor. If I'm not misunderstood, or if I'm not, yeah. So I mean, you're talking about the long game. That's pretty long, and that was his second life as well. Second to third, he lived like 3 different people.
Mm-hmm.
He was in, I think Tenebrous was his first, being of the Sith race, and then he was Vitiate as the Emperor, the human, and then I don't know, long game.
Come for the gameplay, stay for the plot. Eris Korriban. Yeah. So much richness in the storytelling in those games, man. You know, I hate to be the weirdo here, but did Palpatine have any friends or people that
only friends that he could manipulate?
I'd like for you to come over and play some Parcheesi. I don't know. Like, what do you do with the Emperor? Like, what does he do? Who does he hang out with? Like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? What are you gonna do, pal? Hey, check this out. But take the shit over, man. Yeah, like he's drunk, leaking the plan. Like, who does he hang out with?
An American Psycho.
American Psycho.
Oh, American Psycho. Yes.
Let's see Mace Windu's card.
This is business card. Man, yeah, you just threw me. Thanks. That was great. So who does he I guess what I'm getting at is I would think that in the depth of which he was dedicated to his vision, was there even room for that kind of stuff? No?
I mean, no, because I mean, and no, you can't doing the crap that he did. You can't have friends. You can't share that kind of stuff with friends. So because he'd have to turn around and kill him. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really don't think he had friends per se. He might have had close allies, if you will, within his, he had people in his circle. He had Vader. He had Tarkin. He had the blue guy. I can never remember his name, but he's always standing next to him, So within his little circle, he had certain people, but I don't think any of them, they might have had ideas of what part of the plan was, but never the full kit and caboodle. I don't think.
I can't imagine him, kicking back, inviting someone over for a Romulan ale, just I just can't imagine him having time for it. Like that is below, like he was so unless it was a social event that he, because he was a politician, but just on his own. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you don't have friends whenever you're that embedded in the mission.
Wait, is that why I don't have any friends? Oh gosh.
That's exactly why you don't.
He's on the grind set. He's on the grind set.
Yeah, see, I'm like David Goggins over here, right? I'm running 17 times a day, 5 miles each time, doing 200 push-ups.
Yeah. Goodness.
I mean, it's like I have friends at work, but of course, y'all know I'm a hermit. I don't go anywhere. I mean, I've been invited out, to do, Taco Tuesday or whatever. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Taco Tuesday.
I might catch a case of chatting. I can't do that.
Yeah. If my kids ask me, then yes, 100%, but yeah, I'm just, my anxiety can't.
I saw this dude with the perfect shirt in the gym, and it was I hate morning people and mornings
and people.
Perfect shirt for a 5:30 in the morning workout. Trust me.
You need to find out where he got that, so I can buy it.
I know, it's brilliant. My wife wears the one that says, "I want to be where the people aren't." Love that one. Which she'll actually wear that into Kroger. It's beautiful. People staring at her. And it's like, well, she could be wearing the Yellowstone, it's a throat punch kind of day. I mean, take your pick. I'm happy it's the I don't want to be where the people are. I'm safer. So I'm just kidding. I'm fine. She's fine. Everybody's fine. Linda's fine. Robbie's fine. Okay. Next. We have a plan that he started formulating early on. We have evidence of this plan being in effect at work for tens of years prior to Obi-Wan arriving on Kamino, correct? So let's move into that. He has a apprentice named Darth Maul, right? I am still not 100% positive, and I hope someone here or someone listening can help. Sifo Dyas was not, he was a Jedi Master on the Council, from what I understand. He going to Kamino and requisitioning and making this deal for these clones, was it really him? Or was it Dooku under the name of Sifo Dyas? Do we ever know? I'm sure that's explained. I just, for some reason, cannot recollect what that was.
As the lore master, that's what he's here for.
That's what I'm asking. I see him reading right to left real quick.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows either.
See, he can read. I can't. So that's
this is very confusing. However, it seems that after the invasion of Naboo, he went to the cloners and like initially commissioned it. And then at the time of the, I don't know, I'm reading this. Eventually he gets shot down by the Pike Syndicate somewhere. And it was actually Dooku who hired them to target them, and then he ended up funding the clone trooper army and stuff like that.
So who sent Sifo Dyas to do this?
He did it himself.
Why?
According to this, he foresaw a war coming that would ravage the galaxy. Yeah.
All right.
That's
But
literally
he didn't know
all
for what side.
he foresaw a war, and so he asked the council to make an army, and they did not believe that anything would happen and that they didn't need an army, and so he went behind their back.
So then,
someone had to.
but in the Phantom Menace, though, don't they all act confused as to why Sifo would do that? Don't they act confused? Am I wrong? Am I remembering that wrong?
No, I'm pretty sure that's the way I remember it.
Yeah, he believed the Galactic Republic would require an army to prevail, yet his peers on the Jedi Council rejected his notions, leading to his removal from the council.
Oh, he was
And
flat
then-
out removed.
Yeah, which means he probably made a big stink about it. Here. Interesting.
So it wasn't something like Dooku acting as if he were or anything like that. So do you think we've talked a little bit about Dooku in the past to kind of move into that piece of Order 66? So Dooku, his job was to set up the Separatists. Number one, answer straight away. Did he know his job was to create the Separatist army? And was he aware that the Emperor was working, or excuse me, that Darth Sidious was working on the other side to get the clones created? Was Dooku aware of this?
I think so.
I think not right away, but actually I don't know, because when Anakin went to kill him, I mean, he was shocked that
That's why I am not
Darth
sure about
Sidious
this.
was like, when he was like, do it, and he's
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
He looked like, what? This isn't the plan.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say no. He may have heard rumblings. I don't know if the novelization says anything or if there's anything in Legends. but put me down for no.
Something tells me he did not know the full scope of this. Like I think because Sidious he's only going to give you what you need to know in that moment, right? And make you feel good about it, whatever. Like he and Dooku were aligned as far as Dooku was concerned, but I truly believe, and Debbie, I think you brought this up when we were talking about Dooku way back, that in the moment where he's talking with Obi-Wan, he was probably very serious about I need your help and this and that. It wasn't I'm going to seduce you to the dark side. It was like a legitimate, I maybe you'll hear me. The council didn't hear me. Maybe you'll hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll have to say that to go with what I said earlier about people in the inner circle only knowing various parts of, the grand plan, he only knew what his part was. And that was it. He didn't know about anything else. He just knew what is told him. And
like Grievous.
Yeah. Well, and Sidious probably told him, it's you and me, kid, you're my apprentice and da 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 da. Yeah. He had.
Yeah.
He did not know the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
No, he did not.
Hello there.
Do you think Dooku would have? Hey, what's up?
You are a bold.
Hello. Star Wars
General Kenobi.
There it is.
Hello. Had Qui-Gon survived, would he have gone or at least been tempted to join Dooku? I know we see some of this story discussed in the Tales of the Empire or whatever.
Is it?
No,
I don't think he was evil enough to do that. I know he didn't agree with Jedi.
That word. Stop with that word, Andrew.
I don't think he
Dooku
would've.
was evil. Why was Dooku evil?
Because he was self-centered about his political stances.
Because he saw that injustices were being done, the Jedi were standing by idle. That's why he left. That's the root cause, is his feeling of wanting to help. The root of any Jedi and decent human is I want to help. I want to be in a situation where I can give of myself to create an opportunity for someone else, whether that's to feed them, to whatever. That's just the way it is. So Dooku, I have a hard time with this whole quote unquote he was evil, because the whole reason he jumped ship was because he could not handle watching the injustices continue. Like Padme, clueless freaking Padme. Oh, this slavery is ludicrous to get. Shut up. Get out once in a while. Get out past your freaking planet and Coruscant once in a while. Step out on the patio and look about at the traffic and understand that not everybody drives a BMW. Okay? Jeez.
Damn.
Have some perspective.
Right?
But everybody thought that. You can't just blame Padme. Everybody thought that.
I don't know why I just went off on that.
I know. I'm like, what the hell?
Who are you that you feel?
What did the BMW drivers do to you?
Strongly. Yeah. If you feel so strongly about it, do something about it. Oh, well, slavery's outlawed. No, it's not. It's not here. Oh, shit. Sorry. All right. Well, bye. We'll get our part and leave. Let's do something.
But that would be like getting mad at a state senator for not knowing of Texas for not knowing what's going on with South Dakota. He's not the senator there. Like, why would
that is? Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not a top priority for him. His top priority is state.
I don't know that that's a good enough example.
It's not. No, I'm not saying that's
a pretty good example.
But
no, because we all know, here in Texas, don't California my Texas.
I'm
That's what we
just
say. Like
I'm
we
just saying.
understand what all the areas do. Okay,
I'm just saying. You
Just
got enough
saying.
on your plate with your own state. So
okay.
just-
Sorry, I digress. I just can't imagine that they're so short-sighted, or no, they can't see past the end of their nose. I guess is where I was trying to go with Padme, right? And I think Dooku had enough, man. He's just like, screw this. It isn't right. I see people hurt, and I'm tired of it. Now, granted, he, dipped his toe in the dark side, and in the words of Luke to Rey, you didn't even stop. You didn't even turn around. Yes. Oh, Star Wars, you stumbled. Yeah, welcome to the show. We have a lot of fun here, and I hope you continue to have fun.
there may be some rants, but
There may be some rants.
A couple.
Don't even get me started
Yeah.
about Rey. No, but Luke tells Rey, like, you didn't even think about it. You just went to the dark. Yeah. I mean, who hasn't had a shot of tequila and wanted a second? You go. This is what
I
the
haven't.
draw is. This is what the darkness is. This is what pulls
Your
you.
time will come,
Andrew,
young
for Pete's sake. Oh, you youngling.
I'm about to get lasered down here by
So Sidious and
Dr. Dana.
Dooku straight up laying the groundwork. We agree, and unless our lore master, who totally was late for the show and doesn't even know what we're talking about tonight, if he can't figure it out, it's probably someone else's job too. Qui-Gon would have left the Order since
Amen. He would. I think he would have left way before.
Yeah,
He probably would have left like right after that fight to train Anakin.
So the influence of Dooku on Qui-Gon is super relatable.
super duper.
Super duper relatable. Because you have what we just said about Dooku beginning to end. Can we not agree that Qui-Gon felt the same way? Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we not agree that some of that rubbed off on Qui-Gon, and he felt a lot of that as well?
Well, I mean, he was rebelling against the council all the time. So
would the council have agreed to betting on the boy's life? You're right. He was like a rogue, man. He was like, whatever. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. You're not
like
gonna
a
make
gray
me master.
Jedi, almost.
Don't say that shit, dude. What? Really? You just said
Number two, bring it back.
You said the G word.
What
We're
G
not
word?
I
even
said it
there.
earlier and you didn't hear.
No. It's because there's this mental. I can't hear that shit.
Mental of what?
Oh my goodness. All right. Next piece. So Palpatine gets this idiot. I don't care what anybody says. Idiot Jar Jar to just do what he says, and we get
Cam's
emergency,
not here. Cam's not here.
emergency powers, baby. Emergency powers means I now have carte blanche. Carte blanche. I can put my little fingers into every tiny little thing. From the clones, which you've already been involved with because you've already got the inhibitor chip and you've got their programming ready for Order 66. They were born with it, like it's Maybelline or Palpatine. And when nobody got that, nobody knows
Go for Palpatine.
I got it.
True Sith Lord. Yes,
I got it.
Yes,
if Cam was on, yes, you would get that. I would get that
Because I'm old. I know.
I wasn't gonna.
I'm really the Sith
the true
Lord.
Sith Lord. Listen, the fact that Padme felt he would be, an adequate representation of the entire planet. Something wrong with her head. It ain't screwed up right.
Got it right.
Why would you leave? And he was, although I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was voted senator from the Gungans' new representation for Naboo. So I get that, and I think that's what happened.
Dana's basically saying Padme is all looks, no brains.
But you see, he's been playing this, the whole time he's been senator. He's always played the, the nice, kindly man from, Naboo. And he's trying to do the best he can for his planet, his home. Naboo's his home.
Yeah.
And so, he's rubbed some hands and, made friendly with people. And, nobody has anything bad to say against him. Why would anybody suspect that?
That's how smart he is. That
Yeah.
he did. Yeah,
who
manipulated.
would think that? Okay, we'll give you emergency powers for now, but once the war's over, that's it.
Thank you so much.
He even says it. He goes, yeah, right. Yes, as soon as this is over, I'm gonna, this is only temporary.
Bravo
Until we-
Sierra, man. Nobody's giving back that kind of power. I mean, she did fall in love with someone who literally admitted he slaughtered an entire tribe of Sand people.
I mean,
And then she says
Have you
we can't
seen
be.
him?
And then
Did she? I don't know. She
It's
might have wished
hidden.
it. She's like, I was watching this episode of Dexter, and
I love
you might
Dexter.
give me some details about the slaughtering of the Sand.
if Harrison Ford came to Debbie and said, I robbed a bank, she would be like, cool, where are you taking me?
Hello, Travis Mitchell. How are you doing? How's it going? Welcome to the show.
I'm sorry. It's just.
Man,
And then she said,
probably
"Can't be
feels
together."
sorry for him because she knows the backstory. It's his mom for
True.
you know.
Ah, so
And then
Hello.
she says we can't be together, but she wears this like outfit that says otherwise. Like,
Well, I mean, if I look like that, I would too. I mean, it's Hayden. Hello.
oh my goodness. And not only
oh man,
the men,
the women and children. Master.
but they're not even
Master
Jedi yet.
Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Yes.
Oh, the sunflower. Oh,
Okay. So these poor younglings, man. That's it. They're done. We're off the rails, man. I don't know
picking
why.
flowers for Padme.
Now, my question is, why didn't they take the younglings and turn them? Because we know in Kenobi, and I know everybody hates the character, but they caught her when she was young, and she used to be in the temple. Why?
Yeah.
And they turned her. Why wouldn't they do that with all the younglings?
oh,
They're
that's
young
right.
enough.
Coming.
He's called a Master Anakin.
He
Or
is
Master
called
Child.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
right.
ever think of that. Oh shit, yeah, dude. He's like, you son of a yeah.
It's like your little fart.
Not funny. I'll show you, Master. One strange choice was casting Tim Curry. What?
Oh,
Tim Curry is-
yeah, they did.
last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a good point, Travis Mitchell.
Tim Curry,
Thank you.
though. Tim Curry.
I disagree. I liked him as Palpatine.
Man, that youngling. I thought it was just because he had a British accent, but I guess it was.
Well, I mean,
Wow,
It's
all the British
freaking Tim
all the
Curry.
British people
Come
just
on.
unsubscribe.
Unsub.
Unsubscribe. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No tariffs or taxes anymore. They couldn't risk any Jedi trying. Man, you gotta.
That's
You gotta
true.
kind of. I get it. Turning. So, if I'm a kid and I'm in that room and they round me up, I'm still smart enough and a Jedi-ish enough to understand that we are stronger together than we are separated, and we have some level of skill. And we watched some of that in I don't remember what show it was, where the multiple Jedi kids were trying to escape and they were getting attacked.
was that Clone
And-
Wars?
Was that in Clone Wars? That was in the
when they were
Clone
trying
Wars.
to
Yes,
build, like,
a
Ahsoka was there.
lightsaber
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was live action, but it wasn't. Yeah. So what ultimately they all work together, and the moral of the story is teamwork makes the dream. Sorry, I can't say that without throwing up.
Oh,
But
my
teamwork
headphones.
does
Jeez.
help, and so because of that, now everyone's unsubbing that has a gag reflex when you go because I said teamwork makes the dream. Teamwork. I can't say it. Anyway, those kids.
I hope my mom
together
isn't
and
watching
they
because she has a
succeed,
gag
right?
reflex. That's
They
pretty funny.
don't listen, Mom. Those
Too
kids
late.
have. Oh my God!
You got it. Take your time.
Spit it out.
Dream.
The-
And just say the movie, like the production
Those kids
company.
work together and were
DreamWorks.
successful, right? So Vader knows how annoying children can be sometimes, and especially when they're in groups and they start screaming. So just
Wow, don't let Dana in a
Done.
daycare. Jeez.
Yeah. Holy crap.
just kidding.
Uh-huh.
But,
Zane's like, yeah.
but in the book Rise of the Red Blade, I believe it is, it talks about a few of the ones that they did catch and how they kept them isolated and how they pitted each one, fights to the
Mhm.
death. So there's really no, them getting, conversing over lunch. Hey, let's take over. There's none of that because they're kept isolated.
What was it, Barris that we see in isolate in there, trying to turn her? Yeah, that's right. What's that, Travis Mitchell? What you got here? Think for the rule of two to work, it has to be broken. Ventress, Grievous. Yeah. Inquisitors. That's our next piece. Actually, is Inquisitors. That's a great segue. Thanks, Travis.
Segue.
Segue.
To
When
your
have we ever
point,
segued?
you had people or Jedi, some
That's Paul
children, some that were captured, rounded up, some were just straight up killed. Tales of the Empire, fight to the death. Yes, that's where that was exactly. Not Clone Wars, or no, Clone Wars was the kids. This
Yes.
fight to the death.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Makes the dream work.
Woo! I need some more whiskey. I'll be back. Just kidding. I should keep it here on the desk. Where were we?
Johnny Walker.
You guys derail me too easily.
I think it's the whiskey that's derailing you, not us.
Yeah. We're just trying to be right on topic and
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
the rule
kids, I
two
don't
to
like
work.
them.
Oh, that's what it was. Rule 2. To work, all these others. They gathered all the folks, right? We see that in the Inquisitor stories that we get in Vader Immortal, I think, has some of that. And Kenobi, because we get Reva and we get some of her background as a child in the Jedi Order, et cetera, et cetera. So we have some ex-Jedi as Inquisitors. The Inquisitors are used to find up the last bits that are left. Now, one of the problems I have, and one of the questions I have for this panel is, was it blind luck that these Jedi evaded or were not killed? Right place at the right time. Or was this that he had contingency for, and that's why we ended up with the Inquisitors? That was part of the plan. So dumb luck, Palpatine didn't foresee that, or that's why we had the Inquisitors already starting to be formed. Or was that, you see what I'm saying? Like, did he account for that? Was that a piece that he accounted for?
I think he did, because Vader hated the Inquisitors. He didn't like them at all.
No.
So yeah, I totally think that was Palpatine's, because you got to think, I got these clones all over the place, and they're going to be able to wipe out the majority of Jedi, but then there's going to be Jedi who are out in Timbuktu on the outer core or outer rim, whatever you want to call it, and they don't have clones with them. So they're going to have. he's got to have the Inquisitors to track him down.
Mm-hmm.
At least if I was a Sith Lord, that's what I would do.
Was he confident in his plan? Was he trying to escape with Yoda after he started that plan? Was he trying to escape from Yoda because, oh shoot, maybe this isn't working? Or was he genuinely afraid of Yoda? What happens in there? Because that's shortly after Order 66. Yoda's gotten back there, and he goes to confront Palpatine right after Order 66, and Palpatine tries to leave. Why does he try to leave? Is he scared?
I think he just wanted to take the advantage.
Yeah, I think he was overly confident because he's laughing throughout the whole thing.
That's true.
You know, when they're in the Senate thing, I mean, he's laughing and he's just throwing shit. He's having a good time. He's having a party. He just took over the world.
Clown. He's laughing. He's having a good time.
Yeah.
I hate that clown.
Although I don't think he realized how strong Yoda was, because Yoda gave some shit back.
Yeah,
there was a few times he was that Sidious was surprised. I mean, Yoda ran away, but
contingency. So Vader having the assignment to go hunt down some Jedi, right? The Inquisitors being formed to hunt down Jedi. Was it a poorly executed plan that so many survived, or is it just happenstance? That was part of, like, he understood that was going to be that many that survived?
Well, you got to realize, you could have the perfect plan, but shit's still gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he figured that by the time the numbers are dwindled down, that the Jedi are just going to go into hiding and not give him any competition whatsoever. So I don't think he was
a
worried.
Jedi could easily disguise themselves too. I mean, you just get rid of your lightsaber and don't use the Force. You would just think it was a regular person.
Just like Kenobi did. That's what Kenobi did when he went to Tatooine. He closed himself off to the Force.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, is I don't know the total number of Jedi that there were, but let's, even if you kill like a ton of Jedi, if it's only like a third of them, there's going to be a lot left. I mean, I don't know what the total number was, but
apparently, according to Star Wars, it was around 200 Jedi
that were left.
Yeah, around 100 to 200.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
they could have found each other.
Yeah,
they could have mounted very easily, come back and taken back over. The Jedi are taking over.
According to Screen Rant, they ended up counting like 34 specific mentions of Jedi who survived. Like,
really?
Wow.
I mean, when we're introduced, and I say we, Debbie and I, are introduced to Jedi, we assume, like, literally he's the last one. Like, this old coot, like, it's me. Like, that guy who barely knows who he is, that's the last Jedi guy. And when we hear about there's another one named Yoda who taught him, what? So now all we know is that, well, now Yoda's dead, and the only Jedi
Luke kept
left,
asking him all those questions. He was done.
Yeah.
Yes, stop asking me questions. Let me go to sleep. Didn't I just talk about younglings earlier in the show? So as far as we know, Luke, that's it, man. That's it. But here's where now I have a problem, and maybe this is a part of the inconsistency and continuity based in the IP changing hands. We didn't know there were all of these different Jedi that survived. We knew a handful had. We knew that from the Expanded Universe books. But we didn't know it would be like that many. Like you're just going to have a spin-off series about another Jedi, Ooh, what about this Jedi? I mean, we had Kanan and that Jedi, and then we had Kanan chaining.
Don't disrespect
training
Kanan or I'm leaving.
and then we had
We love
Ahsoka who
Kanan. We
survived,
love
and then
Kanan.
well, she's not a Jedi. Shut up, you know what I mean. And then you just the list
She's
goes
actually a
on.
Force user.
What?
Huh?
The list goes on, and because
If
the
you're a
list goes
Force
on,
user, you're a Jedi. That's
Great
what they would
Jedi,
say.
actually.
I have no idea what you're saying.
That's good.
I'm
Good.
lost.
Great Jedi.
At the end, all right, at the end of Order 66, at the end, when they are sending out, like they got to send out that message, right, to say, hey Jedi, those of you that are out and about, lucky you, stay away. I want you guys to put yourselves in the shoes of Vader. So at the moment that I want to put yourself in the shoes, it's when he's already killed everybody at Mustafar, and he's just sitting there looking and seething and sulking and crying like an emo turd, and looking across the lava, and we see the tear reflection. That moment, what is he thinking? Does it have anything
What
to do
have
with
I
all
done?
Is it the friends and people? Because he loved himself some attachment, just as
I'm just
Padme.
gonna go watch a full video essay real quick on what he was thinking, and then I'll report back.
Okay.
Is that
See you in
right?
a second. See you in a second.
And they said, "What have I done?" There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, is
Yeah.
is it the Jedi that he killed? Is it the people that he killed? Is it the
Everything.
I
he
think
really
he also
believe in-
realizes in the moment, like,
Yeah.
that he fell for Palpatine. Like, I can't believe I'm under his control now, and there's nothing I can do about it.
How powerful is he though? What did he just
Yeah.
do?
Mhm. I don't think he knew he was that powerful until
Mm.
then.
Tragedy
Yeah.
from the start is Qui-Gon. It's the best Jedi could be, but it was his open-mindedness that the council didn't value till after he died. Luke is growing into what Qui-Gon was. And I would say Luke as of not the Luke we got at the very, very end, because that was terrible. But the Luke that we were getting, absolutely, I would agree with 100%. Yoda becoming... Thanks, Travis, for all the engagement. This is great. Yoda knowing Luke is becoming a standard of the Jedi that die. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. That's a great point, because who's left to influence the future Jedi? That is what the future Jedi become. So if those that were left were, what's his name, Mace and Chiarimundi and
An asshole.
Plo and all these guys that that missed all the signs. I mean, it's kind of good that they're not the ones trying to survive and keep the Jedi going, because that style of Jediing what wasn't going to work anymore. The Jedi did not evolve. They remained the same for 1,000 years, and there's nothing wrong with consistency and tradition and whatever, so long as it's based in a reality that's applicable to today, right? So the Jedi were way beyond. They were way beyond the scope of what they were created and what they became and what they pledged to do. Defend does not necessarily mean take up arms and become generals, right? Now we see that in SWTOR. We see that they were ranks and of Jedi and generals, and but that was a time of war. But they had a time of peace, right? For 1,000 years, they knew peace, and now 1,000 years after the peace, they're getting thrown into roles that they didn't know how to cope with, how to deal with. So no, they're not going to see the big picture. They're worried about their saving their skin, right? So at the end of all of this, with the Clone Wars, with Order 66 and the magnitude of people killed, let's talk about when we see Yoda grab his chest and fall. Now, those of you that were very familiar with A New Hope know that the screaming of 1,000, people shouting out all at once, like we seen that before, and it was like, whoa, he can feel that. It was amazement. It was for me. It was like wow, he could feel that. But knowing that, seeing Yoda experience it, I don't know about you, Deb, but that like hit on a totally different level, knowing what I knew about what happened with Obi-Wan. And then to realize that was not the first time Obi-Wan felt that.
Well, yeah, I mean, in A New Hope, of course, me being, a youngin' back then. We didn't really understand the scope of a Jedi. We didn't understand everything that it encompassed. All we know was that, this old fart shows up and he's trying to get Luke to run away with him, kind of creepy. And
come with me, kid, on another planet,
And he's talking about the Force.
I got candy for you.
He's talking about the Force and fighting alongside his father, in the Clone Wars. What the hell's a Clone Wars? We'd never heard that before. So yeah.
You guys aren't ready for this, but your kids are gonna love it.
So yeah, we didn't really understand the scope of him feeling, 1 million people die on Alderaan, and then it really hits double time when we see Yoda feel it, and then we think back to Obi-Wan feeling it in New Hope, and then you're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, Travis Mitchell, he said for Yoda, that moment hits harder because he saw all those Jedi from birth to their deaths and outlived all of them. Man, that's huge. I didn't even consider that either. That he's 900 years. I taught Jedi. Like he's old. And yeah, every Jedi that was there, he had known since youngling. It's not like he's the new guy, right? So that had to have just gutted him, man. Ugh. Long live our emperor. I hope that's me. I don't know my secret place, but my secret place. I feel weird saying that. I don't think I'll ever say that again, but thank you for joining the show. And please like and subscribe. I don't know. I think I'm blushing. I don't know why that's okay. I gotta move on. Sorry. All right. Now for real, lastly. The legacy of Order 66, right? So when you think of the legacy that it left, how it changed and how it scarred the Republic, right? And then changed the entire landscape, like as if the firmament opened and flushed out and made the Grand Canyon kind of carving stuff. It's just insane how in a matter of a blink of an eye, we went from a republic to an empire. I mean, in days. And how easily that, could that happen now? I don't know. But the legacy and the lessons that Order 66 teaches, there's so many other bits of Order 66 that aren't explored in this show, but there are tons of material out there. Good videos that kind of walk you through some of the Jedi that did survive as well. But what I want to ask the panel, each of you tell me, when I said we're going to talk about Order 66, what does that stir up in you? Good, bad, and different. When I hear Order 66, I think, like I said in the pregame, like I'm always excited when I get Order 66 at Whataburger. And I always have jalapenos on it, so it's hot and spicy and a little Cholula, whatever. So when you hear Order 66, what do you think of? What stirs in you? Is there a moment of what you saw on screen or have read or imagine.
I mean,
about
at a
Order
restaurant, it's
66.
always cool,
It is.
but
It is.
it stirs up sadness and anger at the same time. Because you're
Sadness
sad to
and
see,
anger.
yeah, because you're sad for the Jedi and all that's going on for them. You're sad that Anakin has fallen, but you're also mad at what he's doing and what's happening to the Jedi. So it's kind of
Mixed emotions.
stuff's hitting the fan, and it's just, I don't know how to feel.
I'm obsessed as well with Palpatine.
Go for
My
Palpatine.
secret place. I'm trying. Sorry. Yes. You think it's a bittersweet thing. There's so much pain, but there's also so much cool stuff.
It's not bittersweet. It is not. That is not what I said.
I'm totally just making
Am I
that up.
the only sane person on this panel?
I think tonight we're all off
Jesus.
the rails tonight. Okay,
I'm not.
Now Dr. Dan's going to take a sip of whiskey and go, here's how I defend
don't
Palpatine.
have any. I don't have any.
He's going to go, I defend Palpatine because,
Sorry, I got excited when I saw the Palpatine comment, and it was that. That was it. That was it. No, seriously, Andrew.
Yes, it's very bittersweet. Okay,
it is. You were saying it was bittersweet. You were saying it was kind of sad.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
But not. Yeah, just a lot. I mean, some person literally broke, and a part of them died, like that. And yes, people died, but I mean, just the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker, right? Yeah, I'm listening. Y'all stop. Y'all are so mean to me. All right. Who's next? Order 66. When you hear it, how do you feel? What happens?
I'm extremely sad because when you go from this sweet, innocent little boy at 9 years old, yeah, that's when we meet him. And, he's bullied all through Jedi training and all that because he's the chosen one. And, he falls in love with a beautiful woman. And then, of course, they go to war and they're doing all that bull crap. And then when you put together that with what we see in Clone Wars, especially season 7 of Clone Wars, and you see the other people experiencing it. And it's just like, you just feel so bad because it's just like all he wanted was to love his woman and be left alone. But it is sad. It's really sad, especially when you watch Clone Wars and you learn about how close. I mean, we kind of get it in the movies, but I mean, you really see it in Clone Wars, how him and Obi-Wan were. And, they truly were brothers. And it's just, and then, he loses his relationship with Ahsoka. And that all sucks. So yeah, it's just really, really sad. Because every time I watch all that in Revenge of the Sith, it just makes me tear up because it's just such a depressing story.
Yeah. But, I don't want to say the Jedi had it coming, but
okay.
Oh,
they listen.
You said you weren't going to say it. You said you weren't going to say it. So you said you weren't going to say it.
I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. I like this here. Padme is left on the landing platform after being choked. When Obi-Wan returns, she's gone. And C-3PO saying she's on the ship, meaning he's the one who found her like that, which means 3PO just waddled out and oh my. What shall I do? I have no one to tell me what to do. Your British voice. Janae! We didn't even say Janae 3 times. Janae! Okay, now I said it 3 times. He doesn't like sand. No, he doesn't.
Who does?
Order 66 has become more hopeful with new canon, seeing retcon of the chip clones and how so many fought against it makes it less depressing. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
The Chicago song? What Chicago song? 25 or 6 to 4?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Saturday in the Park. I think it was the 4th of July.
I was just gonna name every Chicago song until she goes
Maybe.
yes.
Maybe. They had it
Love
coming.
Chicago.
I know. Go My Secret Place. We have
They
several
had it
episodes where we
coming.
talk about
They had it
the
coming.
Jedi had it coming.
They only
Um,
got themselves to blame.
Zane, what about you? Order
Uh,
66. What do you feel?
other
What kind
than-
of stir?
Other than depressed, like everyone else has said, I'm also like just a bit annoyed. I'm just annoyed at the whole thing. Like all Anakin had to do was sit in that room, allegedly, and we wouldn't have had to deal with all that. You know, from what we see, Mace Windu was about to kill Palpatine. Like, if he had just sat there and stayed there where he was told, we wouldn't have had to deal with all that. And so seeing all that has happened afterwards, maybe he killed Mace Windu, but he's like, oh, what have I done? Maybe you kill him right there. I don't know. He's right in front of you. Little force push out the window,
Yeah, but he's under the impression that Padme can be saved, which if he would have stayed in that room,
Exactly.
Padme would have been saved. But he doesn't know that because, Sidious has been he's been in his brain for the last 19 years or whatever.
Still annoying.
I think it's funny how Mace's last name is how he died. He went out the window.
The window.
Are we telling dad jokes now?
That was Darth Hideous.
That was good. It was good. I don't got any.
That was terrible. My hat's all crooked. Okay. I don't even know how to recover from that Darth Hideous. That was really
How about
bad.
the next comment that we see?
That was worse than out
Next
the window.
comment. Yeah, what do we got? Let's move on to Cody. What about Cody? Commander Cody heard an order and just took it. I know. That was a tough piece, Travis Mitchell. I agree. Seeing Cody, who was so tight, just be like, oh, yep, there he is. Shoot him. Come on. But I don't know. I'm not a clone. I don't have programming outside of what the government's programmed me. So I don't know.
I just got real
blurry all of a sudden.
They may be able to control my brain. Dropping your mic.
The pill for that.
He just dropped the mic on us.
Mic drop.
Okay. I do not believe anyone deserves what they got. But the Jedi didn't see it coming because they were so full of themselves and thought they knew it all. And even on his deathbed, Yoda was still a little smart ass about it. I know everything. And he still didn't learn his lesson. His whole entire cult was wiped off the planet, and he still didn't learn his lesson. He was still a smart mouth. So
he's also young. I mean, you're gonna be a smart mouth when you're young. Look at me.
True. That's true.
I mean, come on. Like,
yeah.
If I was put in a
careless the
position
council
where
was.
yeah. If I was put in a
Council
position
was
with
totally
that power,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean,
Yeah.
because think about it. If you're told you have a chance to save a relative or a loved one, spouse from dying, you're gonna do anything you can within reason.
I'm saying Bravo.
save
I'm
them,
saying bullshit. And listen, look, Anakin said it was about Padme. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It wasn't. If it was about Padme, look, and I guess I can only my understanding of what love is. If he really loved her in the way in which he claimed, she said, he said, I'll just renounce myself as a Jedi and all. No, you can't do that. No, if that's what has to be done, then do it. Really? You're going to be a hypocrite and live in secret and knock up this woman and then get married and whatever, and you're here or whatever the order was. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to. You're a Jedi. And I could never reconcile that. That was selfish of him to pursue her, selfish of him to engage with her, selfish of him to marry her, selfish. It was nothing ever about her. It was all about him missing his mama and needing a replacement. So once he had that, once he realized he was going to lose that,
He was
had
going to
go
call
find
Padme his mama.
mama
How would you
replacement.
know? How would
Mama
you know?
Mama replacement. So she was.
A little weird.
Am I wrong? You think I'm wrong, dude?
I would not want to marry my mama replacement.
I'm not saying he did that on purpose. I'm saying it just happened.
What some men do.
No, they don't. No, and many
yes, they
many
do.
women would take offense.
You have a
that
mama
man-
replacement, Zane? Is that what you're saying?
But
No
I'm just
comment.
saying. I don't think. Oh God, you're killing me, dude.
Teach me.
I-
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
Patience.
I
No,
don't
I mean,
think
I
it was all
I get
selfish. It
that.
was all about his feelings and making sure he could hold on to her because of how she made him feel.
You know
wasn't
why
about-
I think that does make sense now I think about it? Is there age difference? I mean, look at the first movie. I mean, he's literally a kid, and she's what is she, 14? In the
I've
Phantom
thought
Menace?
about you every day since
Something
then.
like that. Yeah.
But whose fault is it for him being like that? If the council had handled him totally differently, he may not have been that way.
Yeah. And think about it. It's not like there were probably a lot of girls on Tatooine. I mean, oh, okay. So there's not a 10-year difference. Oh, the 10-year gap I'm thinking of is the movie time jump. Yeah, so there's a 5-year age gap between them.
That's a lot.
Well, and if she reacted,
That's not
that
enough to be
way
a mama
9-year-old,
replacement. That's not.
Yeah, it
come
is.
on.
Yeah, it is.
Please, my parents have a bigger age difference than that.
My goodness, guys, this was great tonight. This was super fun. Thank you all for jumping in. We got a couple of things to close up, and then we'll shut down the show.
We gotta
and we'll
hit 2
move it
hours.
into the after dark over in the Discord.
After dark.
After dark. What do you want to watch one of the Rebels episodes tonight, Zane?
Sure.
Since you haven't been you've been doing them or skipping them. I don't know. Have you been watching them?
I did not do it this week. So
What
can do it
episode are we
Wait,
on?
of course. we went.
I think we're on 9. Episode
Awesome.
9.
So episode 9 or so over in Discord in our, I don't know where we after dark.
After
We'll
dark.
do a watch
Must be
party in
18 and
there,
up.
and we'll. Sorry, I was reading comments. These guys. Janae, you're killing me. My secret place. I don't know. I feel weird saying that still. I don't understand. Travis, thank you for joining. Travis Mitchell also. And there was the Star Wars nerd. Thank you for joining, all of you folks.
It's 0-0.
Next week, I don't know what we're gonna do or talk about or whatever. So,
Something.
but it'll be fun. It always is.
Give us
Order
ideas, because
77.
Debbie and I need
Order
ideas too
67.
for our show.
Y'all need
so
ideas. Yeah, I have
Whatever you
ideas.
do, we'll just do it a week before.
Just
you, and then you can
know
do it.
on this show, Andrew, you get your own segment if you're a regular, and none of them have ever taken me up on having their own segment on the show. They just wait for me to tell them what to talk about. It's brilliant. It's a real team.
It is a real team.
I'm just kidding. I can't do this alone. I'm joking. You guys don't.
We'll just all leave. We'll do our
Don't
own
leave me-
show.
Don't leave me alone.
We got the
Oh.
Jedi Dominion.
Our friends over at the Feast of Fandoms, go check them out on the Facebooks and the YouTubes and all the stuff. Debbie and Andrew are on multiple shows over on that channel and that platform.
Instagram.
Everything from Cam and Focus, which talks about
Facebook.
movies. This week they're going to be talking about
Enemy
y'all talked
Mine.
about last week. This week is what?
This past Sunday was Willow.
Willow.
And the next Sunday is Enemy Mine.
RIP.
Enemy Mine. Going through some old movies. Also MCU Mondays. Debbie's
Daredevil.
on that. Andrew's on that. Cantina Happy Hour on Thursdays. The list goes on.
Talking
We
about a
talked
lot of
about
fun
more shows.
stuff. Yeah.
So go check out our friends over there, and like and subscribe to their channel. They've got a bunch more shows. We're just a standalone. They got all the fun stuff, but stay here with us too. We had an
No, we're
absolute
taking all the
blast.
viewers with us.
I know. Thank you, people, for joining this evening. Some folks, new folks. Great to see y'all. And yeah, totally fun, totally engaged. What do you have this week, Andrew, other than the other shows you're on? Anything
I mean, you
else?
said it all, really. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all the shows I'm doing. Unless someone asked me at the last minute to be on, that's all I have at the
Yeah.
moment.
I'll let you
But
know
like
Friday.
Dr. Dana, where it's Dr. Dana will ask me at like 7:55, "Hey, you want to be on?" I'm
Hey,
like,
you wanna be
"Okay,
on?"
I'll just drop what I'm doing right now." Sure. Okay.
You have a great night too, Travis Mitchell. Thanks for joining. My secret place. Thanks for joining. Debbie, what do you got this week? Don't say just hermiting.
Well, Friday night I'll be over on the Geek and I podcast, and we're talking about probably one of my top 5 episodes, Space Seed.
Oh, for those of you that don't know, the Geek and I is talking about what?
Star Trek, the original series,
There we go.
episode Space Seed.
Spacey.
Con.
It's an okay series.
God.
Not Star Trek 31, Section 31.
Oh Lord, let's not talk about Section.
Zane, what do you got this week? Nothing.
Nothing. But
Your
next week,
gig.
yeah, February 7th, I believe, up in Buda. It is, well, I say it'd be down for some of y'all. It's like 10, 15 minutes south of Austin. I'm playing at Buck's Backyard at like 8-ish.
That's a decent venue, man.
Yeah.
I never got to play there. It's fun. I've
Yeah.
been there, but I
I
never
think
played.
it's like it's like a $10 ticketed event, but they give it like a tip to us. 'Cause it goes straight to us. That's it. We don't get paid anything except for ticket sales. So, if you
Yeah,
want a tip, you
get down
might
there.
as
Go
well
to
just come.
Bucks.
Buck's
Bucks
Backyard.
Backyard. Get your tickets to Thomas Babiak and 30 Rack.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all single still maybe releasing around the 14th?
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Favorite color is going to be releasing February 14th on Valentine's Day.
Very cool. Go check them out, Thomas Babiak and 30 Rack. I think that's it, man. I don't have anything else going on this week other than work and work. So real work that pays the bills.
I thought this was your actual job. This is
I
what
wish.
you did.
I wish.
I
You're
wish
on.
too. I wish this was my job.
Man,
I wish.
I'm telling you. Janae. Okay, we said her name 3 times. She either just disappeared or she's gonna. That was great. Seriously, thank you all for joining tonight. We will see y'all next week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We will see y'all. Remember, kids, peace is a lie. There's only passion. Good night.